After a day and a half of deliberations, the jury came out with a unanimous guilty verdict for defendant David DePape on both federal charges of assault and attempted kidnapping. Now, I want to tell you there was a sigh of relief from Christine Pelosi, the daughter of Speaker Emerita Nancy Pelosi, once this verdict was read aloud in the courtroom, while the defendant showed little to no emotion while that verdict was read. It sends a clear message: there is zero tolerance for political violence against public officials and their families to this country. Thinking back to that October 28th attack last year, roughly 2 months before the January 6th insurrection, that was a time where members of Congress faced an unprecedented number of threats, often stemming from far-right conspiracies and widespread misinformation. Now, the government made a clear and convincing case that David DePape was a prime example of that. Yesterday, we heard the defendant testify in tears, describing what led up to his so-called suicide mission. DePape described how he spent 6+ hours per day learning about conspiracies and listening to far-right podcasts discussing false political narratives about several of his targets, including the former speaker. Now, the judge made it clear the verdict in this case always comes down to the facts and whether or not the jury can prove that the evidence proves the charges. The defense tried to suggest DePape wasn't motivated by Nancy Pelosi's official duties as a member of Congress, but clearly the jury did not buy that. There was not a substantial amount of evidence from the defendant at some point when the defense made their argument that they did not believe that David DePape was motivated by her official duties as a member of Congress. But that's despite the defendant testifying in court that his intention was to harm the speaker, break her kneecaps, and wheel her on to the congressional floor to make an example out of her. So a huge, substantial amount of evidence in this case. And I do want to point out that David DePape faces up to 50 years in prison for this federal case. It may impact the sentence in his state case. DePape is facing a slew of charges, including attempted murder. Julian, Gloria.
All right, thank you, Stephanie, for that live report. Of course, we'll have much more of her reporting throughout the day here on ABC 7 News.
Yeah, and you know, we just got a new statement. A spokesperson for the family of Nancy Pelosi released this statement about the verdict, and it reads, Speaker Pelosi and her family are deeply grateful for the outpouring of prayers and warm wishes for Mr. Pelosi from so many across the country during this difficult time. The Pelosi family is very proud of their pop, who demonstrated extraordinary composure and courage on the night of the attack a year ago and in the courtroom this week. Thankfully, Mr. Pelosi continues to make progress in his recovery given the ongoing state court proceedings. Speaker Pelosi and the Pelosi family will not be offering further comment on this matter. So again, breaking news: a verdict reached in the case of David DePape, accused of attacking Paul Pelosi.